Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Seek Therapy Podcast. It's me, Jasmine,
In America.
And Jasmine Ty.
and it's a new year, people. New year,
Yeah.
new
Yeah.
mindset.
Mm,
Not no new me.
mm.
Well, for me, it's a new year, it's a new mindset. It's good to see y'all. How's everything been? What's been our highlights? What's been our challenges? Since I started, I'll just go. Let's see. My challenge was that when Mercury started in retrograde, like it was just a lot of inconveniences, just like right after one after another. And I was just like, why? I just want to go home and cry. I'm just going to go cry and just, that's how we'll deal with this. And we'll try again, because I'm very type A. I plan things out and things were not going as planned. And so, like, it's given, let's try again. So that was a challenge. And like, I had kind of stopped working out after Christmas, like for a couple days, 4 days maybe. Um, and I was eating, y'all. I was eating it all.
That's
I
what
feel
I'm
like
thinking.
subconsciously my body was like, it's about to be New Year, so enjoy your last little bit. So that was a challenge. But a highlight is that um I got a new gym membership. It's a gym right by my house. It is so nice. It has like small little saunas and it's a little bougie because they have a basic membership and they said for basic, like take what you could get. But for premium and up, they have like the sauna, the pool, and the sauna, they have like little sauna rooms. Like you could be up in a room by yourself, just like enjoying life, like I was doing.
How they separating that out? So if you got a
You
premium,
have to scan your thing. They
Oh,
said, bitch, no.
okay.
Treadmill. Take what you could get. They
yikes.
said
Okay.
you need to step your coin up.
LA is cutthroat at the gym. I believe it.
But it's a really nice gym. I have a juice bar, and I had just got a little 7-day pass because I'm like, let's just see. And I was like, bruh, I really miss being a gym girly. Like, I miss going to the gym. I miss like getting heavy fucking weights. Like, I miss it. I'm like, why don't I just go on the weekend? Because I was gonna wait until the summer to get a membership. I'm like, why don't I? It's on sale now. Like, just get it. So, well, go. What'd you say?
When you posted, I can't wait for the summer. I was gonna say, why the hell we waiting until the summer? But then I was
Right,
like, mind your business, because she gonna do what she need to do. So I was like, I'm
right.
gonna send it through the phone. So we love
Your
you.
mind is so powerful because our dead ass was about to wait, but then I was like, I literally can just go in the weekend. Like that is fine. It's not far. Like I could get a nice lift in, and it's fine. So I did that, and that has been great. And I got a new car to end the year off in style. Okay. I got a hybrid. So that's what I'm really excited about because I filled up my tank and it was $26.
Oh,
$26.
Well,
Yeah. So that's so exciting. How about you, America? How you been? What's been your highlight? What's been your challenge?
you talking about the gas prices made me think like, damn, that might be a challenge. But no, gas went down, so I won't complain. Um, highlight. Well, first of all, Happy New Year. Glad to be
Happy
back.
New Year. Yes.
Highlight. I feel like I had a couple highlights. But I would just say overall it was a nice holiday season. Holiday season. Things went well. I guess I had a little break. So that was good. Challenge would be um let me see. Oh yeah, other highlights starting dry January. I feel good about that. I'll talk more
Yes.
about that in my new when I open up my little drink for today.
As I
Um,
sip my truly.
touche. I ain't mad. Um, if you was drinking bourbon or something, I might feel away, but it's fine. So um, challenges, I guess, would just be, trying to make sure that I come into the new year with ease and not overdo. I know in the beginning you said new year, new mindset, and I made a face for those who are
Mm-hmm.
listening. Um,
Did.
I did. And the reason why I made a face is because I think that at the beginning of the year, we give ourselves such a hard time and we expect that we are going to wake up or that at 12:01 January 1st we are going to have new mindsets and be new people, and the
Mm-hmm.
reality is that you are still the same you were
Right.
last year. We just have to choose to make different decisions,
Right.
and choose to release some of the beliefs that we have and change some of the habits. So that's the only reason why I made a face. And so I think that has been the work for me during this first week of the new year. Oh, damn, it's been a week. This first week of the new year, is just making sure that I'm mindful of how I enter this year.
Yes. I love that.
Well, that's just me. I have to clear my throat. Um, yeah, I'm with y'all on that. For me, my new has been going back to work. We went back on the second.
Wait,
Uh,
wait, wait. What's the highlight in your challenge?
oh, I was trying to tie it all in.
Oh, well, tie
No, no,
it in,
no.
baby.
Let me flip it. Let me flip it in my face. Um, my highlight then in that case has been acknowledging that, as America said, the time difference of, a couple of hours, a week ago,
Mm-hmm.
being mindful of still giving yourself time, that just on the first, things don't have to change. That's been something I've been conscious of in the past. Um, I've built up a sense of uh, agency in myself of just, on the first, I'm gonna, and
Right.
then if I fall short of that, I beat myself up.
Mm-hmm.
And so allowing myself coming into 2023 to not be that girl, I've given myself this week, because I mean, like I was saying, we went back to work on the second, and I had started to prep over the break, but then told myself, no, I'm on break, don't work.
Mm-hmm.
So coming back and like finishing this document, I made the kids a test review, and coming back and finishing that and like prepping and just kind of, okay, giving myself time. I did my paperwork to resume school next month, and um,
Okay.
started my budget, which was really like cutting out all the fluff. I found out that I was subscribed to like Showtime and Stars and all the stuff that like I wasn't
Not you
watching.
found out.
Well,
So I
true.
found out the same thing. It's okay.
Like I
How
didn't
y'all
sign up
go
for it.
find out?
You know what I mean? Right, right, right. But in my mind, I'm like,
Oh,
why
did y'all do like the free trial and then forget?
trial? And then just, and I have a Fire Stick. So it's like, it's
Got
really easy to
him.
just be like, pop, 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 pop. It's
Right.
on Amazon. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And so check your membership and subscriptions, people.
As
Uh,
your new.
yeah. My challenge is acknowledging that my perception in the past of what real growth is, it's just that it's a perception. That growth happens um, small on some days for me and
Mm-hmm.
big on other days. I was out taking care of stuff. So I got into a car accident on the 30th,
Mm.
um, in which the other car flipped. It was an
Oh,
SUV. And that was my first time seeing that happen in real life. And, by the grace of God, like everyone's okay. Everyone was able to walk away from it. No ambulance needed. And so just the material things are gone. And that could have like there was a moment where I could have let that shake me. And I know there's a past me out there that would have been like, it's an omen, it's a, you know what I mean? And like would have taken that
right.
static into the new year. And I let myself cry. I let myself have a moment. And then I was like, you know what? Material things are gone. Everyone's okay.
Right.
I recognize that I can, this is a challenge for me, is that I can focus on what's perceived as focusing on the negative, but it's really me just processing of like what could have happened
Mm.
versus what did. And then I'll get into, some things I've researched and found healing with later on.
For your new or just in general?
In general in the talk.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, the new for me is just uh, reading more and taking
Yes.
time. Yeah.
Yes. I forgot to say one, I before I threw away my agenda for last year, I looked at the goals and it said read and finish 5 books. And I literally finished 5 books on New Year's Eve.
Dope.
And I've already finished a book this year. Like I just started it on the first and I finished it. So I was like, it's giving reader.
Yeah. So,
Yes. Well, y'all know I love to put people onto new things that I am reading, listening to, working out to, whatever the case may be. And so let's go ahead and get into new. What's new for you? Oh, I like that. I just finished this great book. It's called The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose. And like I just finished it in a week. It was so good. I was just like, at all times. So I would definitely suggest reading that and getting the Goodreads app so that you can kind of keep track of all the books you've read, books you want to read. Um, and I don't know why, but I like it. What about you, America? What's new with you?
Um, did I talk about? I think I talked about it last time. Okay, so I'll just stick with the one that's in front of me. Um, so this might be not new to other people, but it's new to me. So these little poppy probiotic, prebiotic sodas, baby, listen, they're phenomenal. They're better than sparkling water. They're good. They're good as fuck, and they have helped me pass in this last week. Um, So I'll just tell you what it says. So it says for a healthy gut, be gut happy, be gut healthy. And so it has apple cider vinegar, or it's infused with apple cider vinegar. It has immunity, and it's a prebiotic. They have different flavors. This one is raspberry rose, and so I think in the spirit of you know romanticizing and all of that stuff, I got
Mhm.
my little fancy cup of
Yes,
iced
come on through. I love this.
okay.
okay.
And so
Yes.
that's my new, and it's been nice. Um, yeah, it's been a nice replacement, just in general. And it's something about the wine glass and the ice that just made me feel like, baby, we here. So that's
I
my new.
love that.
Yeah,
And I do want to touch on that. Just doing small things that improve your life,
yeah,
like that. You're having just a prebiotic soda and you
yeah,
feel like you're living it up.
oh,
And
yeah.
so I want to just encourage y'all to do small things like that.
Yeah. Talk about replacing something in your life with a healthy substance.
Hmm.
So cheers. Mm.
Cheers. What you got?
Some wine.
And I love that for you. I got my Trulies on deck.
Is it the middle of the day on a Sunday? Mm-hmm. That's what we do.
Yes. So we were having a good little discussion even before we started recording, just on how the new year gives us a lot of pressure, or we allow society to make us put pressure on ourselves to feel like we have to completely change who we are and how we live our lives because it's a new year.
Yeah.
And so that is kind of where we fall short, I feel, because we're putting all this pressure to just do all these different things at once. How is that sustainable when I ain't never did this before?
Somebody can help me.
Insert the little Uzi meme. I don't know. This is just my third day here.
Hmm.
And so we overwhelm ourselves by putting all these unrealistic expectations in, you know, the name of a new year. It's a new year. I'm going to stop drinking. I'm going to stop smoking. I'm going to work out 7 days a week. I'm going to only drink water. I'm going to only eat. I'm going to do this fast and just really fuck it up.
The most. The most.
And then wonder why day 11 you looking at Chick-fil-A.
Not day 11.
Day 11?
I
Yeah.
mean,
I
there's
was
no
there
wrong
on
with that
days
Chick-fil-A,
3
but
and 6 already.
Exactly. When you doing that hardcore fast, baby, you start looking at bread differently.
and if you're really doing a fast when you try to eat real food, and if you jump right back in, baby, you're gonna be sick for a couple of days too.
Mm, all of that for what?
Mm.
When we can gradually start to add in habits that we know help us feel better.
Hmm. But I think we have such a I want it now.
Oh, taco. I just had a
The
session
instant
about that.
gratification, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, like we are a microwave
We
society.
are the microwave air fryer society,
Right.
honey.
We love instant gratification. We don't, it's not that we don't want to work for stuff. I think a majority of us are really willing to work for things and we have
Mm-hmm.
worked for things.
Mm-hmm.
But because it doesn't feel like it's happening when we want it to happen, we
Right.
get frustrated with it. And
And
so,
feel like it's not working.
right.
Mhm.
So we feel like, okay, in order to, I know people typically talk about losing weight this time of year. So, in order to lose weight, I'm just not going to eat for the next 3 months. And I'm going to do cardio for hours
Right.
every single day.
Mhm.
Or I'm going to go get a surgery. And like, if you choose to do those things, that's your body, do what you choose to do. But the reality is that if we are so focused on just that end benefit or that
Mm-hmm.
end result, it doesn't really allow us to enjoy the process. And we don't
Right.
tend to see the benefit of a slow and steady change, like habit stacking, like one thing at a
Right.
time.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
you literally, if you've been, this is no shade to anybody, but if you've been eating burgers every day, all day, or if you've been eating things that might not necessarily be healthy or feel good, it's unrealistic as hell to tell yourself that you just gonna eat vegetables for the rest of your life and you just gonna go
Right.
eat that at midnight. It just doesn't work like
It's
that.
not given because you're going to walk past it in and out
Right.
and be in and out.
Oh,
Growth, actually.
and the same goes for people who might be trying to gain weight this year. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you've been eating a certain way and the progress isn't as fast as you would like for it to be, or you're trying to get your booty bigger and you know you got to eat more, it's unrealistic if you've been having 50 grams of protein a day and now all of a sudden you're going to hit 180 right off the bat because it's January the 1st and it just doesn't.
Right.
I mean, you can,
You definitely
probably you can
can.
plan for it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's going to be stressful as hell and it's going to burn you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that takes away the fun in it.
Hmm. I mean, it already really ain't that fun. So you're just making it harder on yourself, to be honest.
To get into it, it's
Yeah,
not that fun.
get into it. It's
Yeah.
not.
But once you get into
Oh yeah,
it, like it's given.
yeah,
It's that part.
yeah.
I'm that type of person that, like, once I start cleaning, right, then it gets done. But it's like you get stuck in that rut or that dark place, and you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
so, your stuff starts piling around you when you're not feeling good. And that was one of the things I had to shake coming into the new year. It was like, okay, do I need to wash the baseboards before January 1st? No. But start moving, move your body, especially when,
Mhm.
you know, you're feeling low.
Yeah. And it's so easy to give into just not doing anything when you're feeling low.
Hmm.
I did that plenty of times this year. And I remember looking at myself and being like, damn, I thought I was so big, right? Now I look at myself, I'm like, damn, I wish I was showing it off, you know? And so I have to remind myself, like, hey, it doesn't happen overnight. And just because in the past it may have, doesn't mean that I need to give up on how I'm feeling and what I'm doing just because it's not happening as quick as I want to.
Yeah.
And when that depression hit, honey, I was the first one to be like, okay, they pissed me off at work. I'm about to go and order this and watch TV, and that's that. Fuck a workout, fuck a cook, fuck a anything. And so I decided like I could only be mad at myself for the work that I didn't do.
Mm.
So this year I am going to compassionately make sure that I am staying on track with what I say I want for myself. And what I mean by compassionately is like my alarm says, "Rise and shine, beautiful. Let's rock the day." Instead of "Get up, you fat bitch. Go and work out."
I ain't gonna hold you though. Once upon a
Oh
time, that
my
shit did work.
God.
Once upon a
Once upon a time,
time,
that shit really did
that
work.
I rolled out of my bed.
Yeah. It used to work. I'm not gonna hold you. It did.
It
It wouldn't work
did.
now.
It
I
Whew.
tried
wouldn't.
it. It doesn't. I read that shit. I tried it the other day. I was like, let me see.
It's a firm
I said,
no.
bitch, if you don't get out of my face,
No,
that's
absolutely.
it. We
Exactly.
go. Yeah. Mm-mm.
Exactly. And so that's what I mean by like being compassionate about it because I'm still holding myself accountable. I'm still saying, like, you said that you want to be a gym girly. So, gym girly it is. Let's get up.
Mhm.
Opposed to like shame. One of them comes from shame. Like, bit, you fat bit. Like, it's
Yeah.
not coming from love.
Nope.
And so that's what I mean by new year, new mindset for me. Because in the past it was like if I'm not feeling good, then I need to honor myself and just not do anything. But how much is of that is just like avoidance and how much of it is actually honoring myself.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And the cool part about it is that I know I feel great when I take care of myself. Like I know that I am unstoppable. I can do anything
Mm-hmm.
when I'm taking good care of myself. But that's the first thing I stopped doing when I'm not feeling good. And so I said, not this year. I'm gonna fight through it. And
Why
so
do you
I'm
think?
be
I was just about to say that. Why?
Why do you
Why
think that is?
that? Yeah.
Because I
I
think
think
more people than willing to admit
Hmm.
that's their
That's
default.
it. Yeah.
mhm. I think it's just like comfort, right? Because yes, like I say I want to work out, I say I want to look a certain way, and this has upset me. These external factors have upset me, and so I'm allowing it to control what I then do.
Mhm. For a lot of us, that comfort, being able to provide yourself that comfort, uh, could be a trauma response. I'm looking at America process.
Me too. I too.
Why you look at me? Go ahead. I'm listening.
No, I see the processing, so I'm like, ooh, and ooh, what
And
gem you
I
throw on us?
Go ahead.
right.
No, you go ahead.
That's just it. I
No.
feel like it's yeah, it could be a trauma response of providing yourself a sense of comfort, even the instant gratification portion of it. Uh,
Mm,
One of the things that comes to my mind would be based in childhood. Uh, yeah.
yeah. Um, and so when I was like really fit, I was able to just like kind of bounce back when things would happen. I wouldn't like be feeling it for so long, but maybe with age, maybe with like the line of work I do, it just be like, nope, system off.
But I think that's what it is, though. When life is already or can be hard enough, and it's hard, mm, it would be easier to not get up in the morning and work out. It would be easier to not meal
Right.
prep. It would be easier to not work out when you get off. It would be easier to stop at Chick-fil-A. And so I think when life throws you a bunch of inconveniences or really hard days, we seek what's easier in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And oftentimes the what's easier brings us comfort and then may be detrimental towards our goals. So, because
Yeah.
I don't see that as you allowed them to piss you off or you allowed for it. Ain't like you woke up that morning and was like, hey God, I want to have a really hard day
Right.
and I want these people to stress me the hell out just for the fun of it. And you didn't go to work and say, hey guys, just so you know, I really want you to stress me the hell out today so I can see it. Like, you didn't do that, right? So you didn't allow
Right.
anybody to do anything. The reality is that in those moments, you chose what felt easier right then. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's just about what worked in that moment. And now you know that, okay, while it would be easier to stop somewhere or it would be easier to skip a workout, do I want easy or do I want what's going to make me feel good in the long run? It's almost like short term versus long term.
Right.
So the easier feels better in the short term. And so that's what's right in front of you. That's going to be your initial response. That's everybody's first reaction for the most part.
Right.
We're all going to look for what's easier. But then when you stop and say, okay, it's an extra step there. Yes, it would be easier to stop. It would be easier to not work out. It would be easier to not meal prep. And not but, and
And
what
because I
did I
too
say?
have been
Correct.
practicing that.
What is it that I said that I want for myself this year?
Right.
Or I know when I work out, I feel.
Right.
And if we focus on the feeling that we want to have, then it makes that easier option kind of move to the side and say, okay, yep, short term, cool, but I want to focus on the long term portion.
Right.
But when you burnt out and you're stressed and you're depressed and you're anxious and life is life in, it's usually going to be hard to stop and make that different
Make
decision.
that a right and make it a priority
Yeah.
because what's easier?
Hmm.
So our whys could be different and existential for all of us.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But just acknowledging when you get to a point where you're asking yourself why, then you're getting to that part where you're turning it over. Do you know what, Jasmine, for you, was it just you woke up one day and you just chose differently for yourself? Did you find it that simple?
No, I think like in reflecting in the year, like a theme was that like I was fighting for my confidence again because I've always been a very confident person, but I think that becoming a mom and having all these body changes and not being able to lose weight how quick I'm used to, I was always kind of fighting for that. And so I was like, hey, you can let another year go by and not really be dedicated like you think you are, right? Or you can really put yourself first because you know that you feel amazing when you do. and I can in turn be good in all my other roles that I have. And so it was really just like reflecting on the ways that I could improve um, for this year.
Nice.
And I think what you said there that's important is you were clear on what you wanted. Because I think sometimes we allow society to frame our goals for us of what we're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to want. So it's like for you, for instance, when we talk about motherhood and we talk about postpartum, it's always this snatchback period, right? Like,
Right.
oh, she snapped back
Right.
in 2 weeks. And it's like, hello? Right? Like
Right. And
that's
that
not
puts so much
realistic.
pressure.
Right. And so if that's what you want to do, okay, that's one thing. But is it that it's something I want to do, or is it something I feel like I have to do?
Mm-hmm.
Or is this what people
Expect.
are expecting of me
Right.
to do? And I
Yeah.
think that's an important place to get into
Yeah.
because when I'll talk about the gym piece. So as somebody whose weight has fluctuated greatly, especially in this last like 2 to 3 years, I think the expectation has been when I got back in the gym last year was, oh, she about to go in here and she gonna lose this weight real quick because that's just what I do.
Right. Same.
But when I went into it, I really had to have a conversation with myself that sometimes I find to be conflicting. Of do and was I in there to attempt to lose weight for me or was this for other people? And when I got clear on the fact that I was there July through December, yeah, July through December for me of last year was not about trying to lose weight again. July to December was I want to refocus on my strength. I want to be able to squat deeper and heavy like I was once upon a time. I want to
Right.
be able to do these things. I want to get back consistent with getting up at 4 in the morning and going and doing what I need to do. So, and I think at one point I remember a man stopping me in the gym who had saw me from before, and he was like, "What's going on?"
Ooh.
Mind your business.
I was like, "Hello, fuck you
Was
mean?"
he?
And he was like, I
He was
know, like
like,
I know you do not know me, first of all, because like you're in here every day, and I just feel like, don't you think you should be losing weight quicker? And I said, well, if my goal was to lose weight, I would be, but like that's not my goal right now. And he was like, well, you could always stop and ask, baby, baby,
I don't
baby.
want to be talking to you right now.
Because it took everything in me, y'all, and it fucked me up for a couple days. But I literally told him I was like, well, if you know me, you know I've lost almost 200 pounds. I did it by myself. It was natural. Yes, I've gained 40 ish of that back. Cool, that's my business. Mind your motherfucking business. But like
Right.
right now, I'm not focused on losing weight. Like I'm doing these other things. And he was like, oh, and so then after that, my brain was like, oh, well, maybe I should be focusing on losing weight. And maybe I shouldn't be lifting heavy and I should be focusing on. And it took like, I had to continue having conversations with myself about what is it that I'm here to do. And when I
Mm-hmm.
was very clear on that, it made it easier for me to keep going and remain consistent.
Right.
Because now we about, about to snatch these niggas' wigs back off. Okay. But at the time,
That part.
so I think that's just really important that we're clear on what our why is, not what other
Right.
people's why is for us.
Right.
Mhm.
What about you, Jasmine? What you working on this year or
Run that back for me.
oh, you froze. No, I was just saying what you working on? What's your mindset this year?
um, really just that finding my own strength in things. It's like, okay, new year, I'm in this new decade, I am grown, and what's this look like? A lot of times in my 20s, I focused a lot on my womanhood and getting to that. And I fully feel like, you know what? I'm a grown ass woman. Like we're in it. You know what I mean? So it's no
Okay.
more framing
Yes.
or like what's this? What's this? I don't know if you guys ever, I remember being a little kid and thinking, like, what would I look like when I grow up? And it's like, well, like this, you know? So for me, it's what that boils down to is being present and in the moment, but also that fine line of uh, being aware of, I too succumb to like the instant gratification. I can
Mhm.
be impulsive. And a lot of that is just like, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like cooking tonight. Oh, okay. It's been a month later. And who am I? Carrie
Right.
Bradshaw?
Right.
Which is why I've worn my Sex in the City shirt today. Just to acknowledge that. And it's like, you know what? That doesn't necessarily make me feel good, like you were saying, Jasmine, in the long run.
Right.
During Christmas, I had a sit down with one of my dad's childhood friends, and we just sat down. We talked about finances and just different stuff. And his whole thing that I took away was plan for your future self. Think about your future self now. Um, and so, not just in a monetary fashion, but I've been kind of taking that mindset of like, what can I do for Jasmine Ty at 50 years old now?
Mhm.
Setting those habits in place, getting out of my own way. If I can start to do that now, then she's going to be even more powerful and stronger for it then.
Right. I love that. And I think even that can be used in like a day-to-day sense, like
Yeah.
just doing things for yourself that will make life a little easier tomorrow or,
Mm,
whatever the case may be.
right.
So,
You have to take it to that macro level. Yeah.
right.
Or just
Um,
doing habits of what the future you would do. So if you
right.
envision the future you being a woman of ease and luxury
Mhm.
and wealth, then okay, how would that woman show up? What would her mornings look like? What would
Exactly.
her days look like? And then that be a part of your daily routine or how you structure the new habits.
Right. Absolutely. And that's also what I wanted to bring up is that I've been kind of focusing on putting effort into myself. Just because last year as a mom, I was kind of just okay with looking crazy and I hated for myself. So I've really just been doing little things like doing my edges. Like I would just go to Target with a hat on, like hair wherever and I could have just did my hair. Like, it wouldn't have taken that much time, and I would have felt a little better about how I was coming out and presenting myself to the world. So, I've just been making sure to put a little more effort into myself. I'm not talking full face of makeup. I barely wear makeup unless I'm like going out to dinner or something crazy, but just making sure that I am showing up in the way that I want to be seen.
Hmm.
So, what are some of our goals or intentions or things that we are working on um, for this new year? I guess I'll start. Well, I don't know if I have like a goal for reading, but
Hmm.
I just want to read as many books as I can and finish them. That's like the biggest thing is that I want to finish the books. And I have been, so that's good. As well as getting strong as fuck. The weight is gonna come off when it wants to, and I'm not going to make myself feel bad about it, feel put so much pressure on myself. Like I'm just going to focus on the habits and staying in those habits when depression comes or when life be life in. Making sure that I am going to those coping skills that I know make me feel good versus those coping skills 12-piece nugget from Chick-fil-A that
Mhm.
make me feel bad.
That's funny.
Yeah, and oh, I was telling Joe like just about us like really focusing on our marriage and us as a unit opposed to just being parents.
Yeah, I like
I,
that.
yeah, I feel like I did a good job of like taking time for myself and hanging out with friends and things like that. So I'm just going to continue that, but going to be more intentional about the time that I do have with my husband and Jenny.
Nice. It's a lot of hats.
It is.
Yeah, that's a full life. I like that. I would
Thank you.
say uh, my goals, one of my goals, I renewed my lease, even though I wanted to move, but I also want to restructure my budget. And so it just didn't make sense to increase my rent if my goal is to lower my cost of living per month. So
Right.
I renewed my lease because that's free, essentially. And it was cheaper to stay here than to leave, just because I moved in at such a low rate, so they can only increase me by so much. And what I decided is that staying here, I want to get back to uh, my home being a sanctuary, so to speak.
Hmm.
Walking in and feeling like, oh, I'm here. Um, and so, yeah, uh, paid more. I got a disco ball for Christmas. So I'm going to put that up in my living room from the ceiling. Uh, and getting back to ultimately just that, those feelings of feeling strong and empowered. I was out running errands after my car accident and just kind of moving around a lot. Whereas over the break, I stayed home a lot. And I called my mom and I was telling her about like how many things I had checked off in my day. And I was like, you know what? Remind me that this feels good. And she was like, yeah, taking care of yourself feels good. And I was, yeah, like,
Yeah.
well, she's gonna keep me accountable with that, but also with myself. Like that's like my big goal is just remembering, like, it feels good to take care of yourself. Being stagnant is, for me personally, it's staying in my comfort zone.
Hmm. And it's not in alignment with the life you want.
Exactly. And that's what ultimately makes me feel quote unquote miserable when I'm not living up to,
Hmm.
or feel far away from what I want.
Right. Yeah. America.
I really be forgetting y'all can see my face.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, we can.
um, I made it. I also want to remind people that sometimes doing what taking care of yourself may not feel good. Um, and we gotta also make the space for that too. Cause I don't know about y'all, but there's a lot of things as an adult that I have to do, get to do, but I don't necessarily enjoy doing or they don't make me feel good. But it's still things that we have to do, get to do for ourselves. So that was why I made that face. Not at you, just in general.
Just in
Let
general.
me specify because I don't want you to think I'm making a face with you. Um, so for me, I don't set goals. I focus much more on intention. And so for me, that intention is more around how is it that I want to feel in the year. And I feel like when I set an intention on and I'm focusing more on the feeling versus like lose 10 pounds, make six
Hmm.
figures, when I focus on that feeling, it allows more room for possibility. And it allows me to be able to um, get really clear on how it is that I want to move into that. Um,
Mhm.
and so I think that when I set intentions instead of setting goals, it just makes shit a whole lot easier. Because it when I set that intention, it's basically letting me know I'm defining how it is that I want to show up, how I want to act, and what I want things to look like. And I feel like it gives way more power. It's way more empowering than it is to set a goal. And I think that's why people tend to mess up with New Year's resolutions and mess up with goals because they're so focused on this one thing and they don't stop to think about how that would feel, how they would even know, like why 10 pounds, why 15 pounds, why 100 pounds, like why is it that you want to do that, what is it that you're really looking for, why do you want
Mhm.
to make six figures, like what does that really mean for you. And so focusing more on the feeling I think has been helpful for me. But the first things that come to mind, because my journal is upstairs, but what comes to mind for me in terms of intentions were I want to be more intentional with joy and play. I think that's an intention that I have every year, and I get a little bit better at some parts of the year, and then other parts, it's easier to do other things. Um, let me see, joy, pleasure, play. I want to tap back into creativity. Um, and so I think for me, that's gonna probably look like crafting or something, or maybe coloring and painting, something like that. I don't know, just something that allows me to be more artsy and really connect with with my inner child. Um, I intend on traveling more. If y'all don't know, my big three are all in Sagittarius. So I am a true Sagittarius. I do not like to sit still, and yet I have been in this house for 3 years because pandemic. And so I want to create the space to travel again and do the things that feel good. Um, we are talking. I was supposed to tell you specifically what I'm trying to do. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought I was going on a rant. Um, I want to be intentional about my strength training goals and what this body recomp looks like for this year. I am not focused on weight like I have been in the past. I'm very focused, much more focused on body fat and what that looks like this go around. So I think that's going to be and feeling more secure and comfortable in my body. So that's how I'll know it's going to be
Mhm.
that feeling of security, that feeling of feeling comfortable and confident. Um, and then I think just being more intentional in terms of friendships. I know, right? Go figure. Being more intentional with friendships and being more intentional.
LOL.
I know, right? And being more intentional, just in relationships in general. So me and Bay's relationship, being more intentional there, being more intentional with my family relationships, and making sure that those are also because we are all really connected. All of those bonds are strong, but just making sure that our time that we all spend together is very intentional. It's very joy focused. It's us having a good time, loving, living, creating memories, and so just making sure that that is closer to the top of the priority list because I think if people have listened, they know, and y'all probably know too, my default is work. That's my default. I'm going to work. Like,
What?
I know. Who would have thought? Ah,
Yeah,
um,
say.
I know. So I'm gonna work. Mom, baby gonna work. Baby know how to make money. That's not a problem. Um, and so while that's still very important, okay, don't get it for that's still important. Um, but also making sure like the work will be there, money is gonna follow me, money is gonna always flow to me, and knowing that and being comfortable in that
Mhm.
will then allow me to be more intentional in those other with my time in those other interactions, so I can be more present.
Yeah. I love that.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, it's been a very long time since we've done a commitment, but I feel like it might be nice to end with a commitment. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, my commitment is that I am going to commit to doing yoga twice this week.
Nice.
Okay. Then I will piggyback off of that. And do the one thing that I do not like to do because I don't see value. However, I'm 34 and baby, these hips hurt. So,
I know you're not about to say
you know what
the
I'm gonna
S
say?
word.
I am.
I know you're not.
I am.
What just were?
I'm gonna commit.
Oh Lord.
You don't be.
I don't, and I know it's crazy because I just know it's crazy. There's no reason why one should be pushing 600-700 pounds on a leg press and doing 200-300 pound hip thrusts and don't stretch. But that's me. And then I be wondering why it take me 5 minutes to stand up.
Because
So
Don't
it's hard.
stretch.
I'm gonna commit to stretching. I can't. Well, I don't want to go from 0 to 5. No, I'm gonna commit to stretching every time I lift this week.
I was gonna say. I was like, well, I feel like you should.
I know. I know. Yeah, I can. I can.
And we will support you in that. And what about you, Jasmine?
All right. So typically, when we finish potting, I just relax for the rest of the day or like find something to do, maybe go see my family, something. But today, I'm going to commit to a Sunday clean. Old school. When your mom woke you up, put music on, her hair was wrapped, she was walking around the road and was yelling at you if you weren't moving fast enough. Those kind of Sunday cleans. And I'm going to also commit to a bedtime this week because I am a
Oh,
snoozer.
yes.
Yes, and it is impacting how I want to show up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I commit to a bedtime
What time you usually go to bed?
whenever the fuck I feel like it.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Is
God
it when you
damn.
feel like it, or is it when your mind tell you you can, or your mind let you go to sleep?
When my mind lets me go to sleep, and it that could be anytime. I have lately been falling into this rut of getting home and just being teacher exhausted and taking a nap on the couch and then waking up and now I'm crunk at 11 o'clock at night, which is when I should be
Mm-mm.
going to bed.
Mm.
And if I'm crunk at 11,
11.
then that means I could lay down at any time between like, I don't know, 2, 3 a.m.
What time you got to get up in the
Mm-mm.
morning?
I have to be
That's crazy.
on campus. I'm supposed to be there at 7:30.
Girl, you're
Right.
really
No
fucking
fucking way.
yourself up. Like, that's very
And so
crazy.
like
You
that
need to cut the
Ooh.
nap out.
I
Cut that
need to
out.
cut the nap in
That's
order to get
crazy.
it right. And so it's like if I was sleeping enough or had a better routine, you know what I mean? Like that, I don't want that to become my routine. But I've already like done it a few times and it's like, oh no. This past week
Yeah.
getting back. And so that's my thing. I'm gonna commit to cleaning my place today, cooking myself something for dinner, and going to bed at 11. Don't pass
Even
go.
11 is late. Cause I'd be in the
Okay, bye.
bed 9:30.
Every day? All right.
Before I had this dog that
Yesterday.
I tried to take out, I was in the bed by 9 too. Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I'm not gonna lie, and hopefully some of our listeners can relate to this. 9 o'clock was my bedtime as a little kid. The part of
Um.
me
Oh,
that's like, whatever,
you're
whatever.
trying to rebel,
Okay.
but bitch, you fucking yourself up.
If you didn't have nowhere to go in the morning, I would say, girl, stay up all fucking night. That's
Right.
fine. But baby, you
But
got to
being
go to
at work
work.
at 7:30.
Mm-mm.
But you know what? I like. I like. I'm a teacher. Like, get your life together. Because before I wasn't having to go into work like this. you know.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. And I would consider myself a night owl. So yeah, that's my commitment is a bedtime this week
Yes.
What's the
and
time?
hopefully forever. I say by 11, but y'all like apparently 9 is the goal. 9:30.
What did I say in the beginning? Don't let us tell you what to do.
Right.
No,
What's
no.
your time?
I 9:30 makes sense if I want to be like a full rested, you know,
Well
8 hour,
rested.
yeah, like 8 hour sleeper, get up an hour early to like be, like these are all goals. But for me starting out, if I can get there by 11, that'll be Gucci.
How many nights?
I'm gonna commit to all 5 my work week.
Okay.
Okay.
That starts tonight then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So today
Okay.
when we get off, I'm gonna clean. I'm gonna get our social media stuff together, and I'm gonna take my ass to bed.
Good. Awesome.
Look at America's face.
Well, I hope that y'all got something good from this conversation. I know that I did. And just remember, like, you can sign up for CrossFit and go like once a month and be wasting your money, or you could go to Pilates, which I'm hearing is $180 a month.
Oh Lord.
Or you can only drink green drinks and only drink water. But if you're ignoring the things going on in your head and in your heart, then you're still not truly healthy. So go on ahead and seek therapy. It's 2023, y'all. Like, process 2020 in therapy.
Mm.
Well, we will see y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.